Hi, my name is Kirsten and my partner is Anjali. We are going to discuss stereotyping, specifically focusing on how it can affect people in the healthcare system. The words in front of you, Irish, blonde, and French, all have stereotypes associated with them. Generalizations. There are two types of people in this world, those who generalize and those who don't. Generalizing is a form of stereotyping by associating a general assumption about or towards a group of people. In our society, we often talk about stereotyping, however, it is seldom defined. Stereotyping is defined as a commonly held belief about specific persons belonging to members of a group based on prior assumptions towards the group. Stereotyping often occurs in daily life. People categorize each other on the basis of social status and group association. Rather than thinking of a person as an individual, we think of them as a member of a specific group. There are three different characteristics of stereotypes. You may categorize people based on easily recognized characteristics or features such as hair color. You may ascribe a set of characteristics to an individual based on the category or group they belong to. Or finally, you may apply the set of characteristics to an individual based on their category or group. Now that we understand what stereotypes are, we need to investigate why we stereotype. Stereotyping is so prominent in our society and culture that it must serve positive functions, though it is important to note that in many situations, the application of stereotyping is not used in a positive manner. There are two positive functions suggested through literature. First, comprehension, in order to understand and make sense of the world around us, and secondly, for self-enhancement, to increase or repair self-esteem. Comprehension makes use of both positive and negative stereotypes, and both perspectives may assist in understanding others and making sense of the world. Self-enhancement makes use of mainly negative stereotypes. Demeaning others helps one attain a positive self-view. People have a higher need to enhance their self-esteem. Stereotypes allow people to demean others while still maintaining their image. Is this problematic? The way we perceive others can lead to negative results, such as racism, sexism, and ageism. It can have devastating effects on those stereotyped, and it is harmful when generalizations are incorrect. Not all individuals are the same, whether or not they are members of similar groups of people. Racism. Canadian Muslims and Arabs are often targets of racial profiling, particularly in areas that deal with transportation. Compared to other racial groups in Toronto, studies have found that young black males are much more likely to be stopped on the streets and searched by police. While these stereotypes are negative and their implications are untrue, unfortunately they still exist in society today. Link to healthcare. Population and patient diversity are growing rapidly, as well as the diversity of healthcare professionals. There have been disparities noted in diagnosis and treatment due to cultural differences. The incorrect application of epidemiological data of specific groups can also have a negative impact on the delivery of healthcare in an area. Sexism. Gender inequalities are not as significant as they once were in the past, however, they still do exist in society. Females are frequently seen as caring, nurturing, and loving, as well as sympathetic toward others, and males are frequently seen as assertive, strong, independent, and competitive amongst one another. The same behavior and actions are judged differently depending on who does what. The glass ceiling effect also plays a role in the relationship between sexism and stereotyping. Link to healthcare. Problems often arise when diagnoses are made. Doctors make assumptions based on gender when concerning the patient's behavior, physiology, and healthcare needs. Gender can be a significant determinant of health. For example, women with diabetes have a 200% greater chance of cardiac disease and stroke than men. However, taking that statistic, it is important not to judge every female patient with diabetes and assume that they will suffer a stroke. Ageism. It is typical that people discriminate and stereotype against others based on their age. Adolescents and children are often brushed aside when voicing their opinion in important matters because they are typically seen as immature and naive. The elderly are often viewed as being mentally incapable, fragile, unaware, and moody. Link to healthcare. Age stereotypes in healthcare create huge problems. Doctors may assume details of a condition due to age. For example, conditions in younger people are often seen as temporary and treatable, while conditions in the elderly are frequently seen as chronic and less receptive to treatment. This can lead to further problems. Thank you for listening to our presentation.